The Khan of Gods!
Okay, so I have owned a lot of tech. I have owned some fantastic tech, I have owned some okay tech, and I have owned some absolutely terrible tech. But you see, in all my years of owning tech, I have never owned a piece of tech that made me want to kill myself. Introducing the Motospeed CK62 mechanical keyboard. It's a 60% mechanical keyboard that basically has Bluetooth, so you can use it completely wireless. And one of my favorite features about this keyboard is the fact that it makes me want to jump in front of a moving train every single time I have to use it. And yes, I know that sounds a little morbid, but this keyboard is so terrible, I would not recommend it to somebody I absolutely dislike, let alone my subscribers, people I am actually grateful to for taking the time to subscribe. Imagine that. So this version that I have here is the black version, obviously with the red mechanical switches, and we can all see that this keyboard is beautiful. I mean, the construction, the RGB, lighting effects, everything is fantastic. It looks like a winner, absolute winner. So let's begin with the actual unboxing and setup experience. Aside the actual keyboard unit itself, the only other things that you get in the case are a reasonably long USB-C to USB-A cable. You get a keycap remover, some paperwork, basically instruction manual, and what I expect is some sort of warranty card. Now, like I said before, this is a Bluetooth 60% mechanical keyboard. You have to read your manual to figure out the bells and whistles, especially for keys that you're going to have to interchange and stuff, because of the different kind of layout this keyboard has to have. The moment that you open and try to read the manual, you're going to realize that these people basically just copy pasted the Chinese version into Google Translate, and a lot of the things that they typed in here don't even make any sense to any human being alive. So maybe they were trying to cut costs. I mean, this keyboard is relatively affordable in the world of mechanical keyboards, especially wireless 60% mechanical keyboards. So let's forgive that and just move on. Now, to try and set it up, the instructions that they put here to set it up don't actually even work. They tell you that you should short press the function button and E, R, or T basically to register one of 3 allowed Bluetooth devices for this keyboard, and after that you long press the function and the Q button for 3 to 5 seconds for Bluetooth pairing mode. Now here's the thing, that's not going to work because the first thing you actually have to do after you turn the keyboard on is try to get it into Bluetooth mode. And how do you get it into Bluetooth mode? That is actually not included in the instructions anywhere. But of course, after a few minutes of messing around with this, I figured out that if you short press the function and this button that says mode on it, you can get into the Bluetooth pairing mode, and then you can pair the Bluetooth and everything is fine. So the keyboard works, yay! So now let's type, right? Good. So you start typing and then you realize that this keyboard actually misses a lot of actuation points. Here's what I mean. You know how some people are field typers and they type like really super fast without looking at the keyboard because they are confident in their ability to type without making stupid mistakes? Well, if you do that with this keyboard, you're going to go back and read your entire paragraph and it's going to sound fucking stupid. Why, you may ask, kind sir? Well, the reason for that is because for whatever reason, this keyboard, after you actually click some particular keys, they just don't register a click. And this is not specific to particular sections or particular keys on the keyboard. This happens to every key on the keyboard randomly. Just randomly not registering an actual key press. How does that even happen? So essentially what I'm telling you is this is a beautiful keyboard that doesn't do a good job at typing. It's a keyboard. That's literally what it was made for. And yes, I know exactly what you're thinking. It can't possibly get worse than that, right? Well, it's about to, so please pay attention. Things are about to get very serious here. Now, here's the interesting thing about this keyboard. You see those lighting effects? It seems as though they concentrated a lot of their time developing those because that's probably the only thing that works properly with this keyboard. Here's what I mean. If you want to control those lighting effects or change the speed or whatever it is, the way you do that is with the function button and the arrow keys. Now, these arrow keys off the bat don't work as arrow keys. Basically, they have to work as the question mark, \, alt, control, yada yada yada. They are supposed to be keys that you have to interchange to be able to use. Now, to interchange those keys to be arrow keys, you're going to have to hold down the function button and the number 3 for about 5 seconds. Now, when you do that, then you have the arrow keys, but then you no longer have the backslash or the question mark or your alt or your control. And I'm like, what? And your other option for arrow keys, basically, if you're a gamer, is the WASD, which again, to activate, you have to hold down the function and some other number. I think it's the number 4 or the number 5. I honestly don't care. But the point here is somebody at Motospeed thought it was a fantastic idea to completely sacrifice arrow keys for lighting effects. Just let that sink in for a moment. They couldn't move those controls to some other keys on the board, some function key row, some number key row, some other place. They literally had to put those functions in the arrow keys. So you have to sacrifice your arrow keys by fire or by force. But that's not even the fun part. The fun part is the lighting effects that they actually sacrifice those keys for don't stay on for more than 15 seconds. Yeah, that's right, 15 seconds. So essentially, the one thing this keyboard actually does well, which is the RGB, it does it well, it just doesn't do it for more than 15 seconds. Look, I could keep going on about things that are terrible about this keyboard. I can tell you about the terrible battery life, and trust me, it's abysmal. Even with the lights cutting off and all that, it's a terrible battery. But I don't want to continue talking about this keyboard and bashing it. I'm pretty sure after you've watched about 6 minutes 30 seconds of this video, you definitely don't want to buy this keyboard. So I'm not going to continue. All I'm going to say is a huge thanks to the guys at Banggood for sending this out to me. Even though I did ask you not to send me this particular keyboard, you did anyways. Thank you. But I'm sorry I couldn't recommend this to my audience, because you see, the reason why people actually trust me and buy the things that I recommend on my channel is because I am very honest and truthful about my experience with those things. So what I did was I reached out to the guys at Banggood and I asked them, would you mind if I recommended another keyboard in the video you asked me to make about this shitty keyboard you sent me? And they were like, sure, Kagan, why not? So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. If you need a wireless 60% keyboard, just go buy the Anne Pro 2. I am going to have a link to the Anne Pro 2 on Banggood that you can just click right now and go buy it. Don't even think about the Motospeed CK62. Don't think about the Motospeed Don't think about Motospeed at all. If you see a Motospeed keyboard and it's Bluetooth and it's wireless and it's 60%, just stay away from it and go the other direction. Thank you for spending the last 8 minutes of your life watching this video about this keyboard that doesn't do a good job at typing. And I will see you on another video that was shot by Kagan. And don't forget to subscribe. It actually helps the channel out.